and welcome. I'm Sebastian and I make travel videos. But today, let's talk about this guy. The 75mm F1.8 from Samyang. The tiny but absolute. Before we start this video, I would really like to thank Focus Nordic, the Polish distributor of Samyang, and also Samyang for actually sending out this lens for me to test so I can actually see how it works and how it is, because it's a very new product and it's a very exciting one to say the least. So let's focus on this lens for both photo and video. Let's talk about it in the real world, how it looks like for someone like me that just wants to see how this works for the photos and videos. So let's start with the overall quality of the lens and like the build quality, because it is very cool. It's a little bit different. Even though it's a 75mm, it's much smaller than the lenses of that category. Here is my 85mm, and as you can see how much bigger it is than a 75mm. If you see them side by side, it's very tiny compared to like something like this, an 85mm. And it's surprising that it is that much smaller, knowing that this is a 75mm, so it's not much different than an 85. But more about that in a second. It is very lightweight and very small, so it's perfect for someone like me that likes to travel, and it's very easy to pack. You can have like 3 lenses instead of like one bigger huge one. You can have like 3 of these of different focal lengths. So it's a very cool thing that Samyang is doing with the tiny series, and I love the way they're doing it because they're not compromising on the quality either of the build material or the optical quality. And the build quality, even though it's actually a plastic, I think it's plastic, it feels kind of like a very premium plastic. And I'm not sure, but it does feel like that. It feels like a metallic plastic, if that makes any sense. But anyway, it's very great, very nice quality. Like even the elements of the glass are very nice. And like the build quality in general seems to be very nice. It looks very good and it's very tiny, but it's very good. Like it is a good quality lens. And with quality, there's 2 more things that you get. It's the, the flower, the cover, and with that is a little bit bigger, but it's not too big, and it can actually slide it on here so that you have it like normally. And there's one more thing, you get the case with it, and that case is actually very nice. It's a small case, but it's actually good because it's actually gonna protect it in case something happen, or it's in the backpack. And let's close it up, and it's a very nice, neat little package. Very well done, very nice presentation in my opinion for something like that. It is actually like speaking quality. Like open up and you see this, you already feel like you're getting something very good. A little bit more to do with the lens and the final product of it, the sharpness. Before I start in anything to do with specifications and of this lens, I was a little bit skeptical as for the quality. How is the quality gonna stack up? For example, to my 85mm, if it's gonna be actually, okay, it's slightly smaller and lighter, but you will have to sacrifice the quality. And here is the catch. There isn't really any loss in quality, and it looks perfectly fine. It's just as sharp from my testing as other lenses that I have used that are bigger than this one, and that already speaks volume. Even though the glass element is smaller and the lens is smaller and lighter, it still stacks up very well. The center of the frame is very sharp. The things that you have in focus are gonna be very, very sharp. And just for you to know, this has actually been used with my Sony A7 III, so it's 24 megapixel sensor. As for the bokeh, it is very similar to what I'm used to. It is kind of like the Samyang bokeh, as they call it. How people usually talk about that kind of bokeh is that it looks like it's drawn. It's like a painting, and it's very true. The things that are in bokeh seem to be like a painting behind that person. It really is a very nice bokeh, and I really like the rendering of that bokeh, but it is something that is pretty much depending on what you want to get. But like I said, it doesn't have too much of this swirl, and it's a little bit more like a painting, but it's very good. Like I really like that bokeh rendering. How about the autofocus? It's an autofocus lens. How does it stack up? This has actually the STM, and thanks to this, it's a very silent, so it's very good for video and photo. There is no problem recording with this lens because you will not hear too much or any at all pretty much noises while the focus is on. And it's very accurate. I have to give it to that. It's very accurate. We tried some testing with it, walking towards the camera, and for both photo and video it did very good. So I think the focus is really good. Especially remember, it's not a native lens and it does such a good job. It really does a great job. Like most of the shots you're gonna take are gonna be in focus. There's really not much you can complain with the autofocus of this lens. And another thing that I wanted to mention in this review is the 75mm focal length. You know, an 85mm is a little bit more something you're used to normally than a 75mm, and that's what they wanted to do with this. They wanted to do a length that isn't always used, that isn't the same one that people use all the time, and it is a little bit more like a forgotten length. But how does it actually look in real life? And I would say it's pretty similar to 85, but the difference is slightly wider. You can actually see the difference. 85mm photo and then turn on for the Samyang and do the same from the same spot. Well, you will see the difference. You will see that 10mm difference. But in real world situation where you're not standing with two of these lenses, I think there will be not much of a difference because you will not have that 10mm that isn't as big of a difference to see. So it does actually seem like this is a good alternative for those that want an 85mm, maybe slightly wider. There is a difference. Like I said, there is a difference. You have to remember there is a difference, but it's not something overly big. It's just slightly, just a tiny bit slightly wider. And last but not least, we talked over almost everything this lens has to offer. There's one more thing on the lens itself, which is right here, is the Mode 1 and Mode 2 custom switch. As you can see, there's a switch here, and thanks to this, you can actually do different things with this lens. And what this custom Mode 1 and 2 does, so with the ring, you can actually change the aperture, or you can change it to the other one, which is going to be the focus, which is very cool if you want like a different kind of shots. For example, you want to close or open the aperture, have less or more bokeh as the shot is going on, which is very cool, something very alternative for your shots. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this lens? At the price that it's given, it is actually a great lens. I am seriously not seeing any problems with this lens. There's no really setbacks. Like normally you would say that even if it's lighter, slightly smaller, or actually significantly smaller and lighter in this case, there will be some drawbacks. There will be some different things that will be like the quality, the sharpness, something would not be right. Here Samyang did such a great job because not only it is lighter, smaller, but it actually compares to other lenses very well because it's still very strong. It's still very sharp, very nice bokeh, very good quality. There is no drawbacks to this being smaller. So there's only good sides to this, so how can I not recommend this lens? Especially if you're like me and you're traveling, this might be the winner. You're gonna be very, very happy with that purchase. So I want to thank Focus Nordic and Samyang once again for making this video possible. And before we end this video, a couple of things that I wanted to mention very quickly. First off, if you like the music in this video or in any other of my work, check out Epidemic Sound, there's gonna be a link down below. And if you choose to sign up through that link, you will get 30 days free. And if you choose to become a paying subscriber, well, there's gonna be a kickback for me. Second off, if you want to support this channel, there's two ways to do that. Check out my website and Patreon. If you become a patron, well, there's things coming back your way. We make monthly postcards from the places that we visit. Some of them are bought in that location, some of them are taken from our photos, stitched together into a postcard and with handmade drawings on the back. And last but not least, if you want to join a travel community, Travel the World is a place for you. It's a Facebook travel community, and like I said, if you're into that kind of stuff, check it out. It's gonna be the link down below, and we'll see you there. And that's gonna be it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I will see you next time.